I don't know what to do for an intro. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Brad. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to episode 6 of Breakwater Point. Now, I'm starting the shot off a little bit differently than what I usually do here. Typically, we look at the last thing we built, but opening up with the skyline this time, and there's a reason for that, but I will touch on that here in a second. Just wanted to recap. In the first episode, we were looking at the B&M Surf Coaster. I believe the second episode was our River Rapids. Third episode, we looked at Shrieking Tiki. And then we saw the Lava Racer, Vekoma Multi-Launch Family Coaster. And then last week, we took a look at our Mac Extreme Spinner Firewalker. So really nothing too crazy. The surf coaster, I guess you could consider that a mild thrill ride. The River Rapids is pretty tame, rather boring. Shrieking Tiki, kind of a moderate thrill ride, nothing too crazy. The family coaster is obviously pretty tame. Firewalker, yeah, it could be considered a more, ramped up thrill ride, but still nothing really too crazy. And that's where we are at now. And because we haven't had that really big wow factor yet in the park, that's what we're going to be looking at today. And eagle-eyed viewers out there might notice the towering behemoth in the background there that is just overpowering everything else so far in the park. And that's what we're about to go take a look at right now. Hold on to your hats. It's going to be a doozy. Boom. Would you look at that? This thing is an absolute beast of a roller coaster. Now, before I get too into what I'm building here, for the sake of argument, we're only taking into consideration real-life Giga coasters that have traditional chain lifts. Now, I know out there technically was Red Fury or Fury Force. I think it's Red Fury. Red Force, yeah. One of those is technically the tallest Giga coaster because it's not over 400 feet like the typical launch vertical coasters, your Top Thrill, your King Ka. But like I said, for the sake of this video, we're only talking traditional chain lift Giga coasters. So a chain lift roller coaster that's over 300 feet tall. Now, taking that into consideration, Carowinds is home to the world's current tallest and fastest Giga, Fury 325. Well, Breakwater decided they wanted to hold that title, so they went to B&M, the manufacturer of Fury 325, and said, we want to do that too, but ours is going to be bigger and ours is going to be faster. Thus, this monstrosity was born. Skybreaker, the world's tallest and fastest Giga coaster. This thing is enormous. The first drop is 360 feet and at max speed of 105, almost 106 miles per hour. It is just gnarly. Pan out here. It is just non-stop airtime after airtime, speed, and it never lets up from the time you leave the chain lift. It has almost 13 seconds of airtime. It's just under 2 minutes long. I mean, this thing is just in your face. If you're looking for a roller coaster that's going to make you do this, then this is the one for you. I've gone through and I've done complete custom supports, which is the first time I've done it in Planet Coaster 2. They're not done. I still have to go through and do like all the connectors and the footers and everything, but I'm gonna work on that as I progress through the different areas of the park. I didn't want to spend the whole time doing that, so that'll not going to really be in any updates, but I will be doing that. I tried to design the supports for the lift hill very similar, if not the same, as Fury 325's. It's such a unique and cool design. It's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty close, and I do like the way it turned out. As you can see, the area where it lives is super small, and that was by design. I'm going to keep it minimal, very few tall trees, nothing really else going on in the area because I wanted the coaster itself to be the star of this part of the park. You're coming to this area specifically for this coaster. Saying that, I do have the supporting Power 360 here. I originally had the Sun Flare, but that thing is so tall that it kind of, I think it was almost a little bit taller than the roller coaster actually, and it felt silly having something taller than that next to it when this is supposed to be the star. So I swapped it out for this smaller one. We're gonna have probably, this might be the only shop. There might be a block of bathrooms or something, maybe some vending machines, but the only real shop that's going to be in the area is going to be a Skybreaker specific gift shop. So you can go in there and get your I Survived Skybreaker, we broke the sky, blah, 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 gift and goodies. It'll be cool. I did do a much bigger queue for this coaster than I have been doing in the park. Uh, just for the realistic kind of aspect, because, you know, a coaster of this magnitude is going to draw a huge line. So I don't know if it's necessarily going to affect the way the game plays, but I made a much bigger queue just for realistic purposes. Still have the fast lane. You got your exit on the far side. The area itself is slightly elevated. I don't really know why I did it this way, other than to give some slight elevation to the park so it's not so flat. I put this retaining wall throughout, which continues over into the trench that the coaster rides through. Through here in between Skybreaker and Lava Racer, there is going to be a tiny little makeshift service road that leads back to the back staging area. And that is pretty much what we're going to be doing in this area. Like I said, it's going to be really small, a small update to the park, but a necessary one. We finally have that big draw for the park. This coaster is just absolutely insane. Moving onward, most of the coasters are going to be big, bad, gnarly rides, but I don't think any of them are really going to be to this scale. But it was about time for the park to have that big coaster. So yeah, I'm gonna go get some work done on the little area here and be back with you in just a second. All right, it's that time of the episode, the final update. And yeah, I know it's not done, but honestly, I didn't have a whole lot of time to build this week, and I wanted to make sure I had something at least to get out for this week's episode. So the scenery, like the trees and the plants and whatever, are gonna come down the road. I'll work on that after this episode releases. But yeah, I got the majority of the time-consuming stuff done at least. Like I went in and did all the fencing, some don't dive fencing. I started in with the footers on this part of the coaster. Finished up the gift shop at least, sort of. It's a little bare, but I don't know. Maybe I'll go in and add some more detail to it down the line. Does have a decent interior for what we can do in the game. Very similar to the build style. Oh my god, that's a wall of Lava Juice further down in the park. Again, a little barren in here, so I'll probably just come back in when I have a little more time and clean it up a bit. Pretty simple build, but you know, it's just a gift shop. That's all it really needs to be. I said I added the lighting and the fencing, like the time-consuming stuff, but no seating, no landscape yet. Lighting in the queue. I got the loading station done for Skybreaker. A pretty simple build, but that's what I was kind of going for, almost inspired by Fury 325 and Millennium Force. It does have the attached maintenance area. It's got like a little makeshift garage type thing. Pretty empty in there, but you know, it is what it is for what we can do in the game so far. Same as the gift shop. I'll probably go in later down the road and add some more detail, but I needed to get something done to put the video out this week. Kind of fenced in the service road a little bit too. And then I also finished up the retaining wall. I did end up changing the I guess I don't even. It's not a tunnel, but like the retaining area for where the coaster dives below ground. I didn't like the way it looked with the stone. It looked a little too unsturdy, so I went in with a heavy-duty concrete look, cleaned it up. It looks a lot better now. I'm a bigger fan of it. I do have to adjust the supports yet, but like I was saying earlier in the video, the supports and everything I'll work on as we get into these parts of the park. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for what I'm going to do in the video for this area. I will obviously finish it and I'll show it around in the next episode. But yeah, that's going to I think I can't remember, but I just kind of finished the sign up a little bit. It's super minimal, but whatever. It works. At least now the letters aren't just floating in the sky. But yeah, little disappointed with the turnout for this week. I was hoping to have everything done, but like I said, I didn't have a lot of time to build on it this week. So this is what we're gonna look at. Actually, before we hop on the POV, I did change the layout of the coaster a little bit. Originally, we just had the one wrap around here, but I went through and did another one. Don't know why. It didn't need it, but I just kind of wanted to do a little bit more towards the end here. I'm going to have to clean this up with some scenery too, but yeah, so we've got a little bit more at the end of the coaster to cruise around in, and kind of, oh my God, if I could work my camera here. The hill time, or the hill element out of this part, is more ejector now rather than floating. So that's going to be a nice little pop at the end. You got your ejector into the floater down into the brake run instead of the weird kind of double up floater. But yeah, that's about it for this week. I'm going to hop on the POV. Just keep in mind, obviously, the ride's going to look a lot different at the end of the build once all the scenery is in and everything. But all the coasters will have new POVs when we do the final park tour. But that's going to do it for me. My name is Brad. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe to follow me for more Planet Coaster content. And let's go take a ride on our world record breaking Giga coaster. Take care, everybody.